Hello, dear Leos. I am Michaela. Welcome to my astrology channel, Today Energy. And this will be a May forecast for you, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Leos. So we start the month on a very positive note because on the 1st of May, Venus conjuncts Jupiter, the two benefic planets at 27 degree of Pisces. And for you, that's your 8th house. Here we can remember how were you feeling and what was going on in your life at the beginning of April, and most importantly around 12th of April, because then we had this beautiful unique conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. So now it's like echoing or repeating or reigniting, let's say, this conjunction and those events. So of course it's a lucky day. Venus, Jupiter, it's about love, money, finances, popularity, wishes come true. And 8th house can talk about really your finances, but we're talking about passive income. So anything that comes to you from your investments, thanks to your family, it might be your spouse income. So there really can be a big growth there. Of course, if you invest in something and now it pays back greatly, at the very least, it can be some wonderful present for you, Leo. Of course, 8th house can talk as well about crisis and difficult psychologically situation and pain and so on. But in this case, it's just these two planets will help you overcome this emotional psychological difficulties. Maybe you are meeting amazing psychologist, guru, astrologer who can help you with a private consultation to dig deep inside of you and to release, to let go all this pain and burden, some feelings, grudges, traumas, and so on. For some of you, these two planets can mean getting pregnant. It might mean really fertility. By the way, when we talk about passive income, it can be also receiving an inheritance. That was the word, inheritance. 8th house, we talk about deep, intimate partnership. So maybe if you were dreaming about something like this, not just superficial boyfriends, girlfriends, or maybe even it's about business partnerships, then here you can meet the right people for you. On the 2nd of May, Venus goes into Aries. That's your 9th house. Venus brings pleasure, money that we receive or invest into something. Here you might really be very happy by studying something, by traveling. You might meet your special half while on the road or in university. 9th house is about us meeting our people we admire, or us becoming such people whom others admire by publishing something, by being out there like a star or a guru, or just an expert in something. So Venus here can bring it both ways. Of course, you might spend money on travels or education, on widening your horizons, and it can be even by just buying yourself some special book that will turn your world upside down and make you change your value system and moral code, for example. Especially on the 11th, Jupiter as well goes into Aries, so also joining Venus in your 9th house. Wow, Jupiter is the classical ruler of this sphere of the natal chart. So you really might be lucky with meeting some special people, maybe your teacher who will influence you greatly. Maybe it's about joining university or maybe ending studies, receiving your diploma and start working and becoming an expert in your field, right? And becoming popular thus. Of course, Jupiter can attract you towards traveling. On the 10th of May, Mercury stations to go retrograde at 4 degrees of Gemini. That's your 11th house, and it will retrograde till 3rd of June when it stations to go back direct at 26 degrees of Taurus, That's your 10th house. So those 2 dates, 10th of May and 3rd of June, are not very auspicious for any important matters, and especially concerning group projects, other people, launching something online if you want to be successful and popular, meeting new people, and as well taking some actions towards your career. So just these 2 dates. But while Mercury will be moving retrograde in your 11th house, some old friends might reappear in your life, whether to stay or just to perhaps clear something and then leave permanently and forever. You might retake some courses or rejoin some groups. Maybe you are going again to join salsa club and class with other people. Maybe it's about just gathering of some old schoolmates of yours. But also 11th house is about earnings, gains from your work and career. So you might receive long overdue payment for something you did professionally. Or 11th house could be about your hopes, dreams, and wishes. So you might get back to some old idea, old long-term goal that you quit because of some reason, but now you will reassess it, rethink it, or maybe just finish it, achieve it, and go fresh for new goals. And then on the 23rd, Mercury goes back into Taurus, your 10th house. And yeah, it's quite important because we might talk about some old career, old work duties reappearing again in your life, old status. Maybe once again you become a grandparent, for example. Maybe you move back to the city of your origin because of work or because you quit job, let's say. And especially if you're MC, the beginning of your 10th house is around 26 degrees of Taurus, that will be quite significant changes for you. On the 13th, your ruler, the sun, conjuncts the north lunar node, the karmic node, Rahu, at 22 degrees of Taurus. Now, this time, again, if you have your MC around 22 degrees of Taurus, that's a very significant moment for you because it talks about expansion, about completely changing your destiny, about something new revealing to you, whether as a news or as an event or as people you meet, because Rahu is insatiable. Rahu wants you to progress, and the sun is you, right? Maybe you become the leader of others. You set some trends, you suddenly become popular. Maybe you launch a YouTube channel in internet, and that will bring you a big audience, big public, because Rahu really is about massive, about multitude, plentitude, and it can be exotic, it can be new for us, but it really drags you towards your future development. And it's amazing. 10th house, it's really your destiny, your mission in the world. On the 15th, it's a bit tougher day though, because Sun makes a square to Saturn, who puts some obstacles for us to overcome, who says, no, 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 don't rush. Be sure to make proper foundations. And if you make a mistake, you will have to do it all over again. Saturn can also introduce some kind of tension, especially with the square. The square is an aspect of tension because Sun wants to shine. Saturn is a bit skeptical at the very least to say, and it's your 10th, 7th house. So maybe some tension with someone older than you, your parent or your employer, your boss, or maybe it's a tension with your partners or clients and some people of authority, or a tension between, let's say, your spouse, your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, friends, and your family and parents. On the 16th, we have a total lunar eclipse at 25th degree of Scorpio with Ketu, the south lunar node. Again, Rahu and Ketu, north and south node. This time the south node talks about the past, about getting back to something from the past, maybe finishing it, letting go, releasing, as well as the energy of lunar eclipse is like a huge, massive full moon. So culmination, clarity about something, where you stand, what's going on, and ending. And in this case, it's about your fourth house. So for some, it might be visiting your family home, your roots, maybe discovering the history of your family, maybe important conversation with your parents. It might be talking about property and possibly about selling property. So, you know, letting go of something in order to progress more with the career. Maybe we leave the nest, right? For some of you, maybe you are getting ready to travel abroad for work or studies, and you say for now goodbye to your parents and your old home. Of course, it might mean some news at home, maybe some expansion at home in the family, maybe someone is pregnant or giving birth. But it's quite important, especially if I see the cusp, the beginning of your fourth house starts at around 25th degree of Scorpio. You will feel it the most. Pretty karmic changes. On the 18th, Mars conjuncts Neptune at 25th degrees of Pisces. Once again, we are reminded about the beautiful beginning of the month, the 12th of April as well. These events can be regenerated here. It's your 8th house, so a lot of energy into releasing, letting go of some old wounds and pain, traumas. It's great to work with a psychologist, with an esoteric person. Maybe you start being interested in esoterics, in astrology or tarot, and that changes you quite a lot. It might be about receiving some passive income or inheritance. It might be about, of course, pregnancy, or something changes in your very personal relationships. On the 21st, Sun goes into Gemini. That's your 11th house. So illuminating the area of friendships, of groups of like-minded people, of joint group projects with others, and being popular, especially in internet. And last but not least, we think about, for about a month, about our dreams and goals, what we want to achieve in our life. On the 25th, Mars goes into Aries. That's one of its favorite places. That's your 9th house. So a lot of energy into education or travels, or courts and lawsuits as well could be. On the 28th, Venus goes into Taurus, one of her favorite places, and that's your 10th house. So Venus, it's about pleasure, diplomacy, relationships. So you might meet someone older than you or with higher rank and status, or you might meet at work. As well, it might mean that through compromises, diplomacy, as we say in my country of origin, when we put the velvet glove, so, you know, gently, you might reach much higher social status. You might, you know, have negotiate for your pay rise, or, you know, going up in the career ladder, promotions. Also, of course, for some Leos, it might mean engagement or marriage and wedding, and thus changing your status. On the 29th, Mars conjuncts Jupiter, and that's at 3 degrees Aries. Once again, it's highlighted your 9th house of your beliefs, your moral system, how you see the world, how you explore the world, whether by knowledge, learning, studying, teaching, meeting people, or traveling. So here you can be unstoppable, really, because of course it might be even arguments and fights with someone from the government, representative of the government's 9th house, or someone who is generally your guru and teacher, and suddenly there is an argument with them because of Mars. But also it might be just really you putting all your energy into becoming such a respected person, and of course attracting people towards you and being needed and admired by others. On the 30th, we have a new moon at 9 degrees of Gemini. That's your 11th house. So new moon brings possibilities for new friendships, meeting people who have the same dreams and aspirations and preferences as you. You might join some groups, lessons, classes, clubs of people, NGOs, governmental even organizations, or there might be something new in your online social media pages. You can introduce something new there that would bring you popularity once again. Well, Leo, also this new moon is important because it kind of puts the mark of the ending of this intense season of eclipses, which is very much affecting you, because eclipses happen on the axis Taurus, Scorpio, and it's like your fixed cross with you and Aquarius as well. So you will pass through some pretty intense transformations now this spring, but also we have 2 more eclipses in the autumn. But luckily now already the energy of the last lunar eclipse on the 16th goes down gradually. And with this new moon, it's like life kind of settles down and gets back to its normal current. But of course, kind of we have the space to breathe and possibly to integrate the important changes happening in our lives. You can, of course, if you want to, you can share in the comments below the video how life is going and changing for you, Leo. I'm also a Leo by rising sign, so I feel it pretty much intensely already. Because this is the thing, eclipses, their energy is vibrating with us and more like a, I don't know, vertex, a turmoil of events and emotions, like at least 2 weeks on each side of the eclipse. Well, Leo, thank you very much for watching, for liking, for sharing my videos, and for subscribing to my channel. I wish you a very powerful, positive month. I wish you powerful, positive personal transformations and achievement of everything you wish for. Go for it, Leo, you deserve it. Talk to you soon. Bye.